Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Sahid, and I welcome you to visit Pathfinders channel. In today's video, we shall be going through how to have in place an ATS friendly resume using the Microsoft Word. And in this case, we're looking at either using a lot of formatting and ensuring that everything that you need to have in your resume is present. And this is done in order for you to have an ATS compliant resume. Already know that most of the employers, whenever you submit your resume online, it goes straight into a system before it gets to someone. You want to make sure that the system is catching all the text as much as possible. And for resumes to be very appealing to the ATS system, usually it must have no image, no icons, no graphs, and what have you. So technology is actually changing the way that we're doing everything today, and that includes also applying to jobs. And this is why we need to have an ATS friendly resume to ensure that they're very competitive in today's job market. So what is ATS? ATS means Application Tracking System. It's a computer software program that saves employers time and money. What it does basically is that it tracks, assesses, and selects the job applicants. So mainly most of the time, what you would have happening is that when you do submit your resume online, it goes to the ATS database. So the ATS then goes ahead to scan the resumes for specific keywords, and it assesses your qualifications for the role. Based on the information, the ATS ranks candidates and produces a short list of the most qualified applicants. So the ATS helps hiring companies to organize and navigate through large numbers of applicants. You need an ATS friendly resume, and the reason is because about 3/4 of the resumes that are submitted never actually make it into the hands of an actual recruiter. And this is largely due to the fact that they are not duly formatted. They do not have crucially the relevant keywords and information that they're looking for. Generally need to have in place a resume that can be easily read by the ATS and attracting the attention of hiring managers who are searching for suitable candidates. So what does the ATS friendly resume look like in 5 steps? The first step you would have to take is your name, your address, and the contact information. You would have to find the job title of the job that you're applying to and ensure that it matches in your resume headline. What you're trying to do with the headline is to call attention to your value as a job candidate. Your headline should be as brief as possible. It should be attention grabbing and relevant to the job that you're applying to. So, for instance, you're looking at this as an example that we got right here. So, you're saying, result oriented sales manager with 5 years experience in the tech industry. Proven record of driving income gains and brand awareness. So, expertise in advertising or public relations and marketing. So, if a recruiter is actually looking to recruit a sales manager and you got all the relevant skills that the recruiter is looking for, then it would be appealing to the recruiter. So this way, when a recruiter is searching through ATS and a recruiter is using the ATS for the job title, then your resume would be one of those that will show up. So, secondly, you need to find the relevant skills and include them in your resume. So hiring managers generally they're generally looking at the type of skills that a potential candidate has got, and in that they're looking at specific keywords that are relating to the skills, particularly for those advertised in the job description. For instance, if the keyword sales appears many times in the job description and responsibilities as we have below, clearly the keyword should be used in your resume since the hiring manager are likely to search for it and preferably bullet point them. So we basically looking at a typical description and responsibility. Talking about this, for instance, which is a company, so it's Sam Mechanical Services Incorporated. It is a company that has been serving the country for the last 30 years and we are growing. As a result, we're looking for senior sales professional as a sales manager. So the sales manager under the direction of the board chair will primarily be responsible to increase sales and customers and to develop and provide direction to sales team. So we can see sales keep appearing in this sales manager, talk about sales again here, sales team again here. So we have sales appearing a couple of times. So we can see the job responsibilities as well. We can see achieving company sales goals, and we can see that again, create an atmosphere. So create an atmosphere where the sales team are encouraged and so on. So you must ensure in your resume as many times as possible you can talk about the word, you can, as many times as you can, that you can put the word sales, then that would be good. So you can see sales here, you can see sales here, and so on, maybe in your job description. If you have any area where you talk about sales and sales, so like that, so that would be something very good for you to be found by the ATS. So the number three thing is for you to use the keywords properly. So you need to use the keywords properly. So for instance, if a job description is asking for a managerial experience, so try to include the managerial experience exactly as a keyword in your skills summary kind of. But you just need to state specifically that you've got the managerial experience. Also, if you've got some certain acronyms, you need to be able to define those. Are you having something like customer relations management? So rather than you just put CRM, say maybe for instance, people already know CRM is customer relations management. You have to put it fully as customer relations management and put CRM in bracket. So by that, you're able to skillfully and properly put the keywords that you do need. Number four, you need to choose an ATS friendly resume format. The format of your resume is very crucial so the ATS can read it properly. So many outstanding job candidates out there submit resumes that the ATS unfortunately cannot read, and this leads to rejection. But fortunately, the most ATS friendly resume format is the most common type used. So the most common type used, which is called the chronological format, and in that, you would have to, this format really lists your work experiences in reverse chronological order. So in other words, you have your latest or the current job appearing first. So, and that is exactly what you would have to do. And in your work experience, you have to include information for each job, including the company's name, the location, the job title, the start and end dates for your job, and the achievements or your responsibilities. And remember that for current jobs, for instance, they should be in continuous tense, while the previous jobs should be in past tense. So you can see that in this, for instance, a sales manager, just using this as an example, and you can see the company, the city, the country, as well as the start date and the person still currently works there. And you can see a typical example of the job responsibility. The job responsibility is stated here: directing companies' media campaigns and coordinating the sales, marketing, and advertisements of the company's products. However, if you would have to put that if you would have to put that in a previous job, then it would be the all of this will be stated, then it would be directed companies media campaigns and coordinated the sales, marketing, and advertisement of the company's product. Don't forget that you would also have to put your education and other certifications or licenses that are really pretty relevant to the job. So the last thing that you need to do is to make sure that your resume is super easy to scan by the ATS. Follow a kind of formatting tips to make sure that you're making it easy for both humans or any machine to read your resume. So the first thing is to make sure that the dates should be formatted in one of the two ways of either you have the month and the year, say for instance, September 2023, you do not use the year alone. So you need to mention the month and the year. So you would also have to use a Word document, or you have to use a Word document or a PDF, which is easily scanned by the ATS. Also, you want to use simple, clear language to make sure that it's easy for the ATS to comprehend and also for human beings to understand. So you use a commonly used font such as Calibri, the Arial, Times New Roman, and so on to appear very professional. So the font size you use is 12 for regular text and 14 for section titles. So you also want to make sure that your margins are also formatted to 1 inch on all sides. And by that, it is not really very crowded. What are the things that you should not do on your resume? When your resume is entered on the ATS database, most of this formatting is stripped out. It's easier for the ATS to analyze the plain text. So because of this, you should avoid these common ATS resume formatting errors. One, so you do not use any special graphics, images, symbols, etc. When it comes to section headings, don't get too creative or fancy. Use traditional headings. For instance, you use traditional headings such as work history or work experience. So you don't need to make it complicated. So you need to put things such as education, and that's all. So you don't need to add additional things. So you do not use any tables or columns. It looks very nice visually, helping you to organize your information, but it gets really distorted on the ATS. Also, you do not want to use any headers or footers because they get distorted as well. Follow these simple 5 steps described and avoid common troubles as listed as well. Then you stand a very great chance of making it out of the ATS database, and also making it to the interview invitation stage with a hiring manager. So that brings us to the end of today's video. We've learned some new tips. Hoping those were pretty helpful. If you have any questions, please leave your comments or any suggestions. That would be much appreciated. If you still do have some gray areas, feel free to email us at visapathfinders@gmail.com. Thank you very much. See you soon again. Bye.